guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, we're covering part 4 to a pretty popular series I've been covering for the last couple weeks now, which is titled, My High School Crush Rejected Me to Have Her Hose Phase, Now She Wants to Say I'm Rejecting Her. And here we are guys, part 4. The drama does not stop, as I knew wouldn't stop with this crazy crazy girl that was his friend growing up, Olivia, as well as the key players in the family. And I told this guy early on, this ain't going to stop. That's why I knew we wouldn't hear an update in 6 months. It's only taken weeks to get updates in this situation. And where we left off, our guy was dealing with the drama of Olivia, finding out that videos of her popped up online, the problem with her family, the younger sister having the hots for him, and I advise this guy, do not get involved with the younger sister. Distance yourself from all them. You can have a relationship with the father because he's a good guy. All that type of stuff because you're just asking for trouble. Well, guess what? There's more drama with his family. And so we're going to get into this here. You're hearing more about crazy Olivia and the younger sister and all that. And by the way, you're going to see that many of you guys have predicted certain things that were going to happen. Well, you're going to be right. So he continues. He says, hello again, SSM. This is Antonio. Well, you were right. I had to update you once again. A lot has happened this week, and I really need some advice. Well, you want advice, but here's the thing. Are you going to take it? Because have you taken other pieces of advice I gave you? Before jumping into the actual update, I'd like to address some of the comments that were made. First, I want to thank everyone for your comments, even the harsh ones. I've learned a lot from following your channels, and they've helped me become a much more cautious man. Are you sure about that? Now, in your last video, some people said the story was fake. Trust me when I say no one would have been happier than me if this were all made up. I repeat what I told people on Reddit. I can't prove anything to you. If you think this is fictional, just pretend it's real and leave me some words of wisdom anyway. Yeah, he posted on Reddit and got very different reactions than he got over here. For those asking for the link to those videos, remember the videos of Olivia that popped up online, I'm absolutely not going to share it. I owe Jorge, her father, at least that much. You gooners can try Googling something like 20-year-old Spanish college SLUT gets spit roasted. If the main character has strawberry blonde hair, 3 moles in her neck, and looks a lot like Ana de Armas, that might be the video. I'm talking to you, SSM. I know you're going to look it up. You bet your ass I'm going to look it up. Well, no, actually, how many videos are out there of a young chick getting spit roasted? It's a needle in a haystack of needles. I'm not going to find it. But anyhow, I got to admit I was curious about the key players in these stories. I know you guys are curious, but we're all a bunch of sick bastards anyway. Someone said the reason I wasn't willing to get together with Fiona is because she's not as good looking as Olivia. That's not true. Excuse me. Crap. Fiona isn't any less attractive than Olivia. She might even have better curves in some places, if I'm being honest here. The issue is that she's my god sister. I grew up acting like a brother to her. We're both nerdy and into computers, so we were close, but just recently became an adult for crying out loud. Obviously, I'll not have any appropriate thoughts about her. She's also petite, so that big brother feeling was strong. At least until recently. I'll get to that later. Okay, let's all remember this part here when he's talking about, like, she's my god sister, for goodness sake, and blah, 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 blah. Someone asked why, if I'm from India, I use a Spanish code name. Really? Who cares what code name he uses, for heaven's sake? It's because my real name is Spanish. Someone made a good reply to that comment. Shout out to that guy. Culture is not the same as ethnicity. I might be ethnically Indian, but I was born and raised in Spain. A very popular opinion in the comments was that I cut contact with Olivia. I already did. As mentioned in my previous email, I blocked her everywhere, social media, phone numbers, everything. I even cut off mutual friends who took her side when she started pressuring me for a relationship. Good. I'm glad you did that, because there's nothing but a pain in the ass. The email situation was unexpected because we never communicated through email before. She said she found my email address on LinkedIn. I'm trying to start a career, so I have to put myself out there, including sharing my email address. I blocked her now as well, and I'll explain what happened next. Now on to the actual update. Okay, here we go, guys. You'll get your drama for the day. If you remember my previous update, Olivia sent me a very long email explaining her side and apologizing, and I replied briefly. What I didn't mention is that she sent another email almost immediately after that, just thanking me for reading it. Of course she wrote back to you. This wasn't going to stop. I didn't block her at this point because I thought she finally got the message, and that things might return to some level of normalcy. What part of this entire story is normal? This seems kind of normal in today's Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0 world, but really, things are going to settle down for a while now. Well, I was naive. Later, she emailed me again, reminiscing about the old times and continuing the attempt of emotional manipulation. Dude, you have to think that everything that comes out of her mouth, and yes, a lot of things have come in and out of her mouth, is manipulation, because I don't trust her at all. On top of that, she started bad-mouthing her sister Fiona, calling her names and saying she was a bad sister, jealous of her, only liked me because Olivia liked me first, and she sleeps around and is just as good at hiding things from Jorge. Don't fall for it. She's trying to provoke a response out of you. She wants you to write back defending Fiona so then she can engage with you. Don't fall for it. She's baiting you, dude. That last part is definitely not hypocritical, right? I didn't respond and I blocked her. Good. Smart. I'm glad you didn't fall for it. But within an hour, I started receiving emails from a different address. She apologized repeatedly and promised never to mention those things again. Yeah, sure. It was around 3 a.m. I work late because my internship is with a company overseas, so I have to match their time zone. So this was frustrating at first, but honestly, it stopped being annoying and just felt sad and desperate. I felt sorry for her sister, since Olivia still lives with their family and is probably hostile towards her. Drama, drama, drama. This is why I'm telling you, stop interacting with them. It's not Fiona's fault, but still. And certainly don't get involved with Fiona because you're going to be in a whole shitstorm. I knew that if I blocked that email too, she would just create another one. I couldn't change my email for personal reasons, and even if I did, I'd have to share it again for work anyway. I didn't want to bother her father again since he's already dealing with so much because of her, but I had to. I called him the next day and he sounded exhausted. He apologized on her behalf and said he'd intervene. The email stopped after that. Well, I'm glad to hear that, because if it wouldn't have stopped, it would be warranted to get a restraining order. Olivia's fucking nuts. SSM, there's something I want to ask. Why now? Why is she so desperate all of a sudden? I knew her apology email was just a way to manipulate me. She didn't care nearly as much as she pretended. Are her options drying up? It doesn't seem like it. In your videos, the women who suddenly want to settle down with a nice guy are usually in their late 20s or 30s, and even they don't seem this desperate. She's 21 years old and very attractive. If she wants a relationship with someone who can provide for her, she'll find plenty of guys who won't care about her past the way I do. I think I look above average, but I'm not a model. I'm also a student without a career yet. So as much as I'd like to believe I'm some Adonis who can make a girl squirt just by looking at her, I know that's not a reality. I generally don't understand why she's doing this at all. Dude, I don't know. I don't try to get into her crazy head. I sure as hell don't want to get in her crazy head. There can be lots of reasons. Usually this type of desperate behavior does tend to happen when they get older. Mid-20s, late 20s, when they're looking to settle. I don't know. I mean, if she was pregnant, then I would say because she's pregnant. But as far as you know, and everybody else knows, there isn't a bun in the oven. I don't know. But frankly, not your problem. Well, anyway, after the phone call with her father, Jorge, I learned a few more things. Oh, Lord, what else? Regarding the guy who posted her videos online. I will call him Chad. According to her father, Jorge, Olivia told him that Chad is a foreigner from the U.S. who's here for work. Jorge filed a formal complaint against him this Tuesday, and now they're waiting for the investigation period to end before going to trial. Well, it might be quite a while to get to trial. But the scandal escalated badly. Jorge volunteers as a pastor, and his church has a public Facebook page. Tuesday night, bot accounts flooded the page with bit.ly links in the comments, which led to the porn HUB video. Holy crap, on the church Facebook page? You would think that there would be some kind of security measures on the church Facebook page that people couldn't leave links to videos or whatever in the comment section. Clearly, the administrator of that Facebook page didn't know about that. You can guess who was in it. The spam stopped and moderators removed the links, but the damage is already done. People saw them, and now the pastor's daughter having you-know-what tape has become community gossip. Good Lord. Well, newsflash, I'm sure Olivia isn't the only daughter of the congregation that has engaged in all sorts of, naughty actions, if you will, unchristian actions. There's nobody's innocent in the congregation, I can tell you that right now. Well, my mom said that things are really bad. Jorge and his family are getting strange looks from the neighbors. Well, they're looking at Olivia, right? And it's not what they're thinking. He was known as a respected family man in our neighborhood, and now this whole thing ruined his image. This poor guy. I would disown Olivia. Boom. Goodbye. You're out of here. I just hope Fiona and her sister won't get bullied at school because of this. You mean Fiona's younger sister. If the situation forces them to move, I'll hate Olivia from the bottom of my soul. Olivia's parents sent her to live with her paternal grandparents yesterday because of the nasty look she was getting. Well, now Olivia is relocated and she has a new area to, spread her love. Well, meanwhile, Olivia's ex, Jose, has started contacting her again. My mom and Fiona said he visited Olivia this week. I'm guessing he lives near our university since they started dating there, meaning he's making an hour-and-a-half drive just to see her. He's clearly not over her. If Jorge didn't kick him out, he must be a decent guy. Jorge's driving an hour and a half for some guaranteed Spanish pussy. As I said, Olivia can find someone. Fiona said that Jose took her out to cheer her up. Oh, I'm sure he did. Since he knows about the situation, it's likely that Olivia is in active contact with him. I don't remember which video it was, but someone once commented, for every 3 or 4 out there, there are at least a dozen white knights waiting to get screwed. Yes, that is so true. Respect to that guy, Jose might keep visiting her at her grandparents' place as well. I honestly hope they get back together so she'll finally stop trying to contact me. Yeah, he can be the sacrificial lamb. So she gets back with Jose. Hopefully she'll leave you the hell alone. But poor Jose. Now about Fiona and me. All right, bro, here we go. Well, SSM, I messed up. My smacking hand is ready, motherfucker. And I say that with friendship. Or maybe I made a good decision. Depends on what happens next. Your viewers will probably be happy, though. Not all of us. The other day, Fiona called and asked if I was free on Saturday. She said she wanted to visit university since she has an entrance exam in June. She's a good student, so she won't have a problem getting in. She asked if I could show her around. I figured it was partly an excuse to see me. You bet your ass it was an excuse to see and spend time with you. Last time I checked, colleges and universities have students, usually sophomores, that give tours to new people and prospective students. She doesn't need you. Well, I hesitated, but after everything that happened, I thought she could use a breather. We'd also been talking often, and she never pressured me. After confessing her feelings to me, she never brought up again. So, I agreed. We met up yesterday. She was a little too dressed up for the occasion, but I ignored it. Smack! Dude, you're just setting yourself up to do something I warned you against doing. No shit, she's dressed up nice. And, for the occasion. In an era where girls walk around wearing freaking pajamas and Crocs and stuff like that, you've all seen this, at least here in the United States. Believe me, when they want to look good, they can look good. And usually it's because either they're competing with other girls out in the club or the bars, or they want to get a guy's attention. And she's dressing up to get your attention. It's not rocket science. We toured the campus and had a good time. I planned to take her to a restaurant afterwards and then call it a day. Instead, she said her mom had taught her how to cook paella, P-A-E-L-L-A. You tell me in the comment section how to pronounce that. I'll call it paella. And she wanted to make it for me. I have a weakness for homemade paella. Dude, as the saying goes, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. And young Fiona here knows this. So she's arranging for you to get together. She's looking hot. She wants to cook a meal for you alone with nobody else. What do you think's going on here? She's just switching tactics. First time she told you how she felt, that didn't get anywhere, so she's trying plan B. It's not hard. They're not stupid. I tried refusing, but I'm a glutton and her mom makes incredible pela. I figured we'd eat it and then I'd take her to the train station. Oh, that's what you figured, huh? So we bought groceries and went back to my apartment. The food was great, I'll spare the details, but I didn't take her to the station yesterday. One thing led to another, and I slept with her. Smack! Bro, you just ripped open a hornet's nest. And now all those hornets are going to be flying around you, and you're going to be right in the middle of a drama shitstorm. Was there not enough drama for you? Well, okay, now you're in it. So, an evening of fun, and I hope it was fun. The drama. Now, I know guys in the comment section, some are celebrating, saying, yeah, man, you tapped that, now you can move on. No, our guys are going to move on. In fact, if you move on, that's probably going to mess her up, and she might go down the same path as Olivia. And then, by the way, isn't this supposed to be like your god sister and all that? And what about Jorge? Don't you think he has enough problems he's dealing with just so you can get some ass? You clearly can get some girls. You just want the low-hanging fruit. Hope it's worth it. Afterwards, post-nut clarity hit hard. I nearly had an existential crisis realizing I just slept with my god sister. Yeah, smack, jackass. She was a virgin, which added to the guilt. At least now I know one of Olivia's claims was nonsense. Yeah, okay, but now here's the thing. You were her first. In 90 years, okay, maybe 80 years when she's in her late 90s, guess what? She may not remember what she had for lunch or breakfast, but she's going to remember the first guy she slept with. And girls tend to have attachments to those guys. So if things don't work out with you, she could end up on the crazy path. Just like Olivia, amongst many other things. Eventually I calmed down and thought maybe this isn't so bad. When life gives you lemons, you make lemonades, right? Or maybe you just have some fucking iced tea. Fiona likes me, she's attractive, fun to be around, and I was her first. Spain's sex culture is pretty liberal, similar to the US. People like Olivia with extremely high partner counts aren't the norm. But women in their early 20s have 10 plus partners is common. As I get older, it'll probably become worse. Considering all that, I might actually have a pretty good deal here. Yes, there may be extra drama, but it could be worth it. Smack! No drama's worth it. 8 billion people on the planet, half are women. You can get girls. Why'd you pick this one? Because it was easy. Or you like drama. Let's be honest with you. I'll be honest with you, bro. I like you. You've done a lot of things right, but I've lost some respect for you for doing this. It's not now. You're in your early mid-20s. I'm late 40s. I've been through a lot of shit. I'm old enough to be your fucking dad. And if I was your dad, I'd smack you upside the head. Yes, I would. But I can see the bigger picture here. You're thinking with your dick, and the dick gets guys in trouble. Maybe Fiona is great on all those levels, but she's also 18. She's young, starting college. You don't think that she's going to have the temptation of other dudes and you're going to try doing long distance if you have to go away for a job or something like that? Okay, not to mention the drama with the sister, if it isn't bad enough. Okay. We'll enjoy hearing your drama, and I'll sit here with a cocky smirk on my face when all this shit goes crazy. And I'll say I told you so. I warned you. Anyhow, we talked afterwards, and I agreed to give the relationship a chance. One part of our conversation felt like a red flag, though. Oh, do tell. When I told her about Olivia's email bad-mouthing her, Fiona admitted that Olivia wasn't completely wrong. She said that she was jealous of her sister because she saw how much I cared about Olivia and wanted someone to love her that way. That's apparently when her crush started on me. She also clarified that although she hated how Olivia treated me like a butler, she never tried to make a move while I was interested in her sister. Honestly, hearing her compare me to a butler hurt my pride. See? She may be very young, but she's not blind. She saw that you were a pussy with her sister. And I guarantee you, bro, Fiona is going to test you. She's going to see, has this guy learned something, or is he still a mangina? She's going to start pulling bullshit to see if you're going to be her butler too. Guaranteed. And if you fail her test, you're toast. But in hindsight, that's exactly what it was to Olivia. A butler she could summon and dismiss whenever she wanted. Fiona said that once Olivia and I fell out, she decided that if I were single, when she turned 18, she'd confess her feelings, and that's exactly what she did. Well, confessing her feelings didn't get you, but offering you food, dressing sexy, and putting the moves on you, that worked. I told her I'll never behave the same way with anyone as I did with Olivia. Oh, really? Well, you'll be tested. I love my ex Sophie very much, but what I felt for Olivia was different. Maybe because I had feelings for her most of my life, it became obsessive. It was. She was the girl next door, the big crush and all that. It was different. I'm never giving anyone that kind of control over me again. Fiona seemed okay with that, and I just hope she truly is. If she expects that this level of devotion, this relationship might not last. While we were talking, Fiona's mom called, and I realized it was getting late. I initially planned to drive her home, but instead I asked her to stay the night. Probably because I didn't want to stay celibate until marriage and didn't want to sneak around every time I wanted sex. It may be also because I wanted to go for a couple more rounds later. Fiona hesitated, probably because of her dad, so I called her mom. I was too much of a pussy to call her dad and kind of hoped that he wouldn't call me back. I told her Fiona would stay the night. Her mom's religious, so I got some kind of reprimanding, and kids these days talk, but overall, she was happy Fiona was with me. I could tell she was worried Olivia wouldn't be happy, but she never mentioned her directly. Okay, so the mom knows you're a good guy. She's like, fine, she's staying over there. She knows what's going on, but figures if it's going to happen, better with you. But she also knows there's going to be drama. As you could have guessed it, not long after, Jorge called. Oh, here we go. As if Jorge did not have enough problems in his life. He was serious, but not angry. He asked about my intentions towards his daughter, and the last thing he asked was whether I'd take good care of his daughter from now on. It felt like he was handing her over for marriage or something. I wanted to say something clever like, let's see how she treats me first, but all I managed was, yes, sir. I know I sounded like a bitch. Afterwards, I also realized how much Olivia villainized Jorge. Yes, he's Christian and wants to raise his daughter according to his faith, but he's not a tyrant. As long as they're old enough and dating someone he considers good for them, he wouldn't interfere. He just wants them to have morals and is strict about that. If he sees them acting depraved, he's going to put his foot down. Well, too late with Olivia. If Olivia had simply dated someone during our years of high school, even if it wasn't me and that guy wasn't a douche, Jorge wouldn't have a problem. He wouldn't have been thrilled if they were sleeping together, but he would have understood. But Olivia didn't want that. She wanted to hoe around. I said this before, but maybe I was just being an idiot or something changed because that wasn't the girl I fell in love with. No, it wasn't the girl you fell in love with. You saw her a certain way, and that wasn't her. Olivia was very good at covering her tracks and putting on an act for everybody, but this is who she is. Well, I drove Fiona home today, and I'm currently there. Something really heartbreaking happened today. At church, Jorge announced that he's stepping down as pastor. Not surprised. He was probably pressured about that. He generally loves that work. My dad tried to take him out in the evening, but Jorge refused and locked himself in his room. I know he needs space, but is there anything I can do to cheer him up? Well, banging his daughter is not going to help any dude. Many viewers might say I shouldn't get involved, but I don't want someone who's like a second father to me to go through this alone. Any advice would be much appreciated. Too late. My advice did not get involved with his daughter when in one ear and out the other. Because now there's more stress in the back of his mind. Yeah, you're a good guy, stand-up guy thus far, and he thinks that, but still. Anyhow, well, SSM, I'm signing off for now. I'll keep you updated. This mess continues. Antonio. Of course this mess is going to continue. I told you this mess is going to continue. I told you don't get involved with Fiona. What's done is done, and you better look at the big picture here, how things are going to go. Because if you took her virginity, she's never going to forget that. That's going to be a big deal to her. And if she has she's loving feelings for you, I want to say in love with you, and she has attachments towards you, yeah. And so basically, with regards to her mom and her dad and all that, they're going to be expecting you to be a boyfriend to her and treat her well and all that. And you're having a gal who's just 18. She may be mature for her age, at least behave in a way that we might think that. But that could change like that depending on the hormone levels that day. Or being around other people at university for the first time. Going away from home the first time. I would not advise that. I told you, not to mention the drama is going to get out to Olivia, and she's going to have a meltdown. Next thing you know, you might write me saying that she tried to end herself and she's in the hospital. I don't know what. More drama. I told you, don't do this. But what's done is done. And, you didn't want to listen to me, but I hope you listen now. So I'd really do some soul searching and really think about the big picture here. But anyhow, bro, it's good to hear from you. I know I'll be hearing more because I know if you would have stopped and didn't hang out with Fiona and moved forward, there probably wouldn't be any more updates like this. But now there's going to be lots of updates. So long as you're with Fiona, there's going to be more and more and more updates and drama. That'll make some people will enjoy that. They like hearing the story. Frankly, I was hoping that you would move on. And that'd be the end of it. And you move on with your life and there wouldn't be any fucking drama or craziness. Maybe we'd hear from you in 6 months. But now you're involved with Fiona. Shitstorm. Maybe you like the drama. I don't know. And again, I said, there's 8 billion people on the planet, half are women, give or take. You have other options, but you picked the low-hanging fruit. And yeah, I'm sure she was hot, and it's easy because she really likes you and all that. It's on you, brother. So, we shall see how it goes. Alright, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let's hear it, guys. I know some of you are going to be like, yeah, you got with Fiona. I know the rest of you are going to be like, stupid, bad move. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.